Good morning. This is Amit Malhotra. Welcome to my show, Gyan Scholars. This is not only a show where we discuss and review the books written by different authors associated with us. It is a platform where those scholars come and join us live and discuss their life experiences. Today, we are going to discuss about a book that has been written by Professor P.M. Kamath, who is a great philosopher, guide, writer. He is a well-known columnist who writes a number of articles in English dailies of Bombay. He was also a recipient of many research fellowships in India and abroad. So we welcome Dr. P.M. Kamath on our show. Dr. Kamath, it is our privilege to have you on our show. Sir, first I would like to know your career as a professor in Bombay University and your experience being a chairman of VPM group of institutions in Bombay.
As a professor, I worked in Bombay University since 72 to 2000 till 1997, and it is after my retirement from Bombay University, I got involved in the Center for International Studies and then began my second inning, so to say, in writing and publishing. This is the volume 1, it is in 2 volumes. Then this is the volume 2. These were articles which were written after Mrs. Gandhi was assassinated in 1984. Congress has become just a tool in the hands of successors or during her time, Mrs. Gandhi and successors. That is what I subtitle of the book says, reflecting on perversion of political power. That is the whole focus. Even if she is not there, she has left a heritage in the Indian politics, which indicates to what extent she has perverted the Indian politics.
Sir, I would like to know how the passion for writing took shape. And you had written a book on Mrs. Gandhi, that is Indian politics after Mrs. Gandhi. Tell us more about your book.
My passion for writing began from my school days when I wrote a small piece and contributed it to my school magazine. It was liked by many teachers and my student colleagues. They said, you are a author, you are a good writer and all that. So beginning from that, I thought of keeping up with my writing. And then, of course, when Bombay University I joined, I didn't have the PhD. And it was a condition that I obtain PhD. Then I was lucky in getting a Fulbright fellowship to study in the United States. That again at the Johns Hopkins School of International Studies in Washington, D.C., I got an opportunity to interact with many professors who have written widely on American foreign policy, national security. And possibly you know that American saying that publish or perish. But in India it was never there, publish or perish. But I used to jokingly say one should never publish anything perishable. One should always write what is worth presenting to the people. So that is how I began writing not novels, but serious stuff relating to the domestic politics and also foreign affairs. One more thing happened in my life, and that is they invited me to write a regular column for them on education. Next nearly 20 years, I wrote to them in addition to articles on education. I also wrote to them on different issues which were of current importance.
Sir, we came to know that you were praised by one of the former chief ministers of Karnataka. Sir, how was that experience?
Ramakrishna Hegde was invited to release this book on Indian essays in Indian politics under Mrs. Gandhi. He said, that has been widely quoted, that whatever Kamath wrote at different times, each article had a message, and they appear to be relevant even at a later stage because there is a message in it. And that I think my punchline is that I just do not write, but I end with a message to the readers that what we need to do.
Sir, to what extent the theory one nation, one election is feasible, and what is your say on it?
I am of a firm opinion that you cannot have one nation, one election if you have a parliamentary system. Because parliamentary system is dependent on the parliament exercising powers, and the basic theory is that as long as the parliament has the trust in the government, government will serve. They can revoke a government by passing simply no confidence motion. And India saw a long period, almost of 10 years, during the United Fronts and the National Front. All kinds of fronts were experimented. There were prime ministers who were only for 10 months, like Deve Gowda, for example. And therefore, the thesis was that to be successful, a parliamentary system must have a party dominant in Lok Sabha, and if the party doesn't have the dominating power, they cannot run the government.
One of the important issues that you had discussed in your book is all about civil services during Gandhi regime, and you were talking about the neutralizing the civil services. Can you throw some light on it?
The civil service should be committed to the nation and national democracy. And in the absence of a commitment to national democracy, if the civil servants are committed to the ruling political party or the ruling, the prime minister, then that is the end of the, government, because it might represent only few people who have voted for the party.
Sir, one of the chapters of your book is about judiciary. What are the points that you were trying to raise?
Indian judiciary has been a force that has provided, much of a stability and continuity, and judiciary has been also responsible in maintaining civil rights, political rights of the people. Any system of government, when power is absolute, the government has the tendency to override the power and see that they can do anything, so irrespective of the power being there to the government. But Judicial Commission's idea that judicial appointees are selected on the basis of their knowledge and their, you see, understanding of the law of the country rather than on the basis of their connectivity to the power.
That's it for the day. We are privileged to have such guests on our show. This is Amit Malhotra signing off. We will meet you again tomorrow.